Not all heroes wear capes, and not all good intentions need to be in the spotlight. But when someone who is in the military, not active in the entertainment world, away from the media spotlight, and even forbidden from speaking much to the public, still quietly donates $2 billion to children and disaster victims, we have to ask, who exactly is this Jungkook? An idol? A philanthropist? Or just a reflection of the silent power we rarely realize in the celebrity world? Jungkook BTS, a name that, whether we like it or not, has stuck in the head of anyone who has ever touched the world of K-pop. But there's one thing that often goes unnoticed by the public. Jungkook is the one who never asks to be in the spotlight when doing big things. And yes, he just donated $2 billion during his military service, a fact that wasn't released by his agency, wasn't part of any promotion, and was clearly done quietly. So how did this come to light? According to South Korean media reports that surfaced over the past few days, Jungkook's name was listed as the main donor in the annual reports of two separate charitable organizations, both of which focus on helping abandoned children and victims of domestic and international natural disasters. His donation falls under the category of private donor, but many have recognized Jungkook's typical pattern of quiet donations that have happened before, including during the COVID-19 pandemic, the forest fires in Gangwon, and the earthquake in Turkey. If you think this is just another social action, wait a minute. It goes deeper than that. In the theory of ethical altruism, an ideal philanthropist is one who gives not for the name, not for the status, but because of the inherent human values. Jungkook could have made content about his charity and gotten tons of praise, but he didn't do that. Instead, what happened was, the charity organization's financial report was forced to list his real name because the donation value exceeded a certain threshold. And even after that, there was no clarification from Jungkook or Big Hit. It's not just a matter of humility, it's a matter of principle. In showbiz, we've seen too much of virtue signaling, that is, celebrities pretending to care just to maintain their image. But Jungkook? Even when he could have taken a moment to rise again in the midst of his draft hiatus, he stayed away from all the spotlight. This is what makes many observers call him an example of silent philanthropy. And it's not just once or twice. Looking back, Jungkook has donated large sums to children's hospitals, become a regular sponsor for alternative schools, and even secretly paid the medical bills of a terminally ill fan. All without media coverage until his own fans came forward because they couldn't contain their gratitude. Psychologically speaking, there's an interesting term, intrinsic motivation. This is the inner drive to do something, not because of an external reward or recognition, but because it feels personally meaningful. In many interviews before the draft, Jungkook often mentioned that he wanted to be a good person even when no one is looking. It sounds cliché, but judging by his track record, it's not just words. While other idols prefer to celebrate their birthdays with parties or fan-meeting events, Jungkook chooses the lonely path, donating large sums of money to places that have nothing to do with image or business. Even according to a report by one of the NGOs that received his donation, Jungkook put forward a condition: don't write my name in any media releases. Who still thinks like that today in the entertainment industry? Many fans, especially ARMY, immediately created a domino effect from this donation. After the news leaked out, community forums in Korea and internationally were filled with small donation actions. Some fan bases even initiated a new social campaign under the name Golden Giving Project, inspired by Jungkook's nickname as the Golden Magne. And this is interesting. In sociology, this phenomenon is referred to as moral elevation. When we see an extraordinary act from someone, we as humans are compelled to do the same. So, even though Jungkook never intended to show off, his actions still produced a huge social effect. Meanwhile, when one person acts sincerely, sometimes the world moves. And this is exactly what happened now. Jungkook's action, which was said to be a simple donation, actually evoked more than just admiration. It sparked reflection. The big question for everyone, fans or not: what have we done for others? And more importantly, why do we need a public figure to realize that humanity is everyone's business? In terms of social theory, there is a concept known as responsibility diffusion. Essentially, when many people know there's a problem, many of them don't feel the need to intervene. The reason is simple. There must be someone else to help. But Jungkook's action reverses that. He could have thought, there are other celebrities anyway, the government has already stepped in, but he chose to get involved. And when someone as influential as him gets involved, it's not just a one-way street. We see fanbase accounts starting to open mass donations, young people starting to realize that humanity doesn't need a specific moment. Even further, Korean media outlets have begun to highlight the importance of a culture of silent giving, a direction that is rare in a world hungry for validation. By the way, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be Jungkook? Rich, popular, millions of fans, and his every move a trending topic. But underneath it all, there's an invisible, lonely space. Many public figures have said, the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. And perhaps this is where the root of all Jungkook's sincerity lies. He's not just an entertainer. He's searching for meaning, something more than just the stage and the cheers. And if you look closely, Jungkook has become less and less self-talking over the years. He makes room for others more often. Whether it's through song covers, small collaborations with fans, or yes, this silent donation. The theory is clear. Viktor Frankl, a famous psychologist, said that humans need not only pleasure but also meaning. And maybe for Jungkook, that meaning isn't in concerts or award shows. It's in the smiles of children who don't know who helped them eat today. He doesn't need thanks, he needs to know that he's still human. The public is often misguided. They think idols are just visual and sound products. But if you've followed Jungkook from the beginning of his career, you know how hard he works. He's not a child prodigy who is suddenly born a superstar. He learned from zero, from dancing while vomiting blood, to repeating lyrics over and over again to perform perfectly. Then, when he finally had money and influence, he kept his cool. He never showed off his luxury goods, never showed off his girlfriend, and never exploded even when he was slandered. And that leaves many people confused. What exactly is Jungkook looking for? Perhaps the answer is not what can be seen. It's what you can feel. That's why when he donated $2 billion without cameras, without live broadcasts, without public events, it wasn't just about money. It was about the essence. It's about how he remains an ordinary person despite his above-average status. In the end, we can only say one thing. The world needs more Jungkook. Not because he's handsome, not because he's from BTS, but because he taught us a big lesson through a small act, that even silence can be a voice if you have a heart that speaks. So the question now is not, when is Jungkook making a comeback? But when do we all start acting without being watched?